Alright guys, so we're going to start off on our backs today. A little bit different from what we usually do. Just find a comfortable position for your head and neck and back. Hug your knees into your chest. Draw a few circles to massage those back muscles. And from here, just drop your left foot onto the floor, prop your right foot on top of your left thigh and hug your left shin into your chest. Flex your toes and find a perfect deep hip stretch on your backs. Close your eyes. Feel any subtle sensations in the areas that we're stretching right here, right now. And just breathe. Deep inhales, deep exhales. With each exhale, maybe gently pull yourself a little bit deeper into that stretch. So subtle that you can't even see the movement. Just taking some time to slow down and take care of all those deep connective tissues in your body. Maintaining your range of motion, maintaining your flexibility. I really love doing these types of routines, at least a couple times a week, because they're just a perfect complement to those more active yoga flows. Sometimes your body just needs something a little bit slower, a little bit more gentle, so that it can get ready for another week of stronger stuff. Alright, from here, drop your left foot onto the floor, right knee on top of left knee, and just twist your knees over to the left. Open your right arm to the right and twist, glancing at your right hand. A super duper gentle spinal twist. One of the most important areas of your body. So this pose loves those deep inhales and deep exhales. With each exhale, maybe you can twist very subtly, just a little bit deeper. We're going to stay here for a very long time because this is a deep yin yoga flow. So they say that holding these stretches, these twists, for a very long time causes your body to release hyaluronic acid, which just moisturizes those joints, those connective tissues, keeping you elastic, has that anti-aging effect on your body. And I don't know if this is true or not, but I don't think it would hurt to do these things, believing that the yin poses will cause that to happen. And if you notice that your mind is drifting away, just bring it back. Back to your breath, back to the subtle vibrations going throughout your body. Sometimes when we're quiet, when our minds are quiet, we just notice things that we usually don't notice. That's what yoga is really about. It's coming back to your intuition. All the suffering comes from the mind. And all the solutions of the suffering is also in the mind. Sorry for getting esoteric on you guys, but anyways, come back to center. Hug your knees into your chest. Draw a few circles if you like, if it feels right for you. And then just drop your right foot onto the floor, prop your left foot on top of your right thigh, and hug the right shin into your chest. Flex your toes, find your pose, and breathing deep. So, always come back to your breath. If you find yourself holding your breath, it's probably because you're thinking about something that you shouldn't be thinking about right now. Right now, it's just your body, your yoga practice, your breath. They say the attention span of people is decreasing now as we move from the age of YouTube to the age of TikTok. The average person on TikTok watches 600 videos or 300 videos. I'm not sure the exact number, but it's in the hundreds during the 50 minutes that they spend on that application. That's insane. I don't know what kind of effect that would have on society in the future. But I think perhaps it's even more important now to practice increasing our attention span. And I think yoga really helps me with that. To be patient, to see if I can pay attention for a long time. From here, drop your right foot onto the floor and left knee over the right knee. Twist your legs over to the right as you open your left arm over to the left. Glance at your left hand and breathe. So the yoga routines that I share on my YouTube are actually relatively short. When I used to practice yoga live, it was always 90 minutes or an hour. But the group energy of a live class does help. It's a little bit different when you do it alone in your room. Even I have trouble staying present for 30 minutes or so. But I think by trying my best to stay present during these 30 minutes or so, I maintain my attention span. Because I really don't want my attention span to become the attention span of a fly. I think it helps to have a good attention span, especially if I want to learn something. So in this twist, remember guys, deep inhales and deep exhales. With each exhale, twisting just subtly more deep. You might notice that the tension is kind of dissolving away with each exhale. Breathing deep, breathing free. And last breath, come back to center. Hug your knees back into your chest. And rocking forward and backwards, just rock your way up to sitting. And when you get there, spread your legs wide apart. Take an inhale, glance up softly, and then folding on the exhale. So this is my deep forward fold. It's not very deep at all, but trust me, I'm feeling it. You might go deeper, you might go less deep. It really doesn't matter what it looks like. It just matters that you feel the stretch. It's personal. You can also grab your ankles or your shins or your toes. Pull yourself gently deeper, but not too deep. Or you can reach your hands forward a little bit more. Breathing deep, breathing free. Paying attention to not overstretch, because that's really how you pull muscle, get injured. That's when something healthy becomes unhealthy. A lot of people think more is better. More intense, the better. The deeper, the better. The more flexible, the better. But it's not necessarily true. How about just the right amount? The perfect amount for you personally. A lot of people come to yoga with the intention to improve their flexibility, and it's true, yoga will help you do that. Inhale, come back to sitting. Breathing deep, breathing free. And then just go over to the left foot. Keep your right butt and leg flat on the floor, best to your ability. And you can grab your left foot and stretch sleepily, or you can have your hands on each side of the left foot and just breathe. Deep inhales and deep exhales. And so, like I was saying, a lot of people come to yoga to improve flexibility. And it's true, it will help you do that. But that's not the intention, it's just a side effect of practicing yoga. It's really just not right to make your yoga practice a part of the rat race. Oh, I'm trying to become more flexible than I was before. Or, oh, I'm trying to become more flexible than that girl in my yoga class. That's the rat race. And when you bring the rat race into your yoga practice, you turn your yoga practice into crap. But if you really care about flexibility, you should go take a Cirque du Soleil class, because that will definitely make you more flexible, faster. Hope that puts things into perspective. Keep breathing free, keep breathing deep. Find your personal perfect stretch. Trying your best to keep the left foot and the left leg straight. And then the right hip and the right foot flex on the floor. And just breathe. So from a scientific perspective, when you hold stretches long enough, you activate something in your body called the Golgi tendon organ. And that organ signals to your body, letting it know that you need this new movement, right? Alright, come back to center and walk your hands over to the other side. Keeping your right hip on the floor, keeping your left hip on the floor, flexing your right toes, grabbing your toes if possible, or just have your hands on your right shin or on each side of the right leg to your own degree. So when your Golgi tendon organ is activated, basically it signals to your body that kind of needs this new range of motion. And that new range of motion is related to your connective tissues. And it does help lengthen out those connective tissues so that eventually you can do this new movement more easily. That's usually how people start getting more flexible, because the more they do these yoga poses, these movements that you will otherwise never do on a day-to-day basis, your body recognizes this new movement, and eventually your connective tissues will make it easier for you to do this movement. And as a side effect, you become more flexible. So keep breathing free. Flex the right toes. And bring your mind back from wherever it is back to this yoga practice if it has drifted off. And on the next inhale, come back to sitting. Close your legs, shake it out if necessary. Find your way to tabletop pose on your mat and tuck your toes. Come up into a downward facing dog. Heels pressing low, hips sloping high. And let's do a vinyasa, plank, lower to the ground. And then this time we're going to come up into a sphinx pose. So it's like a gentler version of cobra. Your forearms are going to be on the ground, shoulders stacked on top of your elbows. You're going to glance up softly, very, very gentle back bend. And just reversing the effects of sitting in front of a computer for too long, or playing games on your iPhone for too long. We're always hunched over. And this just reverses that. So I'm going to stay here and really, really let this pose. So you know how plants are kind of flexible when they're alive? Like you can bend them slightly without breaking them when they're alive. But when they die, they dry up and become very brittle. And you can literally break a plant when it's dead by just lightly tapping it, and it falls apart. So it's kind of similar to the human body in the sense. A lot of people, they're always weightlifting, or they're always doing these very strong fitness routines that tenses up their muscles over and over again, and they don't waste any time doing routines like stretching or recovery work. And a lot of times those people get injured pretty easily. It's like tension is in the body is similar to the tension of the plant when it starts to dry out. Alright, from here, tap your chin to the floor, hands in cobra position, and then just push all the way to downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up to the sky, bend the left knee and open up that hip, and then bring your left knee forward into pigeon pose. So left toes close to your right hand, and then left knee close to the left hand. And when you find that perfect hip stretch, just start dropping to your forearms and resting your hand on your arms like a pillow, and breathe. So my point of bringing up that story I was talking about earlier is just these slow yoga routines, like this yin yoga routine. Maybe it doesn't burn a ton of calories. Maybe it's not going to give you a six-pack. And maybe it won't grow your biceps bigger than your head. But these deep stretching yin yoga routines, they do take care of those connective tissues. And I know it's not as aesthetically or egotistically appeasing because we can't really show off our connective tissues the way we can show off some six-pack abs or humongous biceps, but maybe it's important to take care of the connective tissues so that we can maintain our range of motion into old age. I mean, in bodybuilding, we do know that if you don't use it, you lose it. And the same goes with your range of motion. When you stop using a certain range of motion, you lose it. So this is just a very, very gentle way to deeply stretch one of the biggest joints in our body, the groin area, the hips. And that's why we're staying here for quite a long time. Really allowing our body to recognize this range of motion. Inhale everything that you want in life. Exhaling all the stuff you don't want out of your life. Exhaling all the tension that your body might be holding on to. One last breath. Come back up with your hands, tucking under your right toes. Bring your left foot back and just push your hips into downward facing dog. And then right leg up to the sky. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Draw a few circles if you like. And then just swing that right shin forward. Drop your left knee to the ground, nudge it back. And find your way into pigeon pose on the other side. Make a pillow with your forearms. Rest your forehead on your arms. And breathe. Maybe you can say to yourself silently, may I let go of anything I don't need in this life. May I have the wisdom to recognize what I need in my life and what I don't need. So many of our opinions, our thoughts, they weren't even our own. They were put into our head by society. I don't know the exact number, but the average American has watched so many advertisements. Just so many, from the time we're born to the present, to our adulthood. Can you imagine all those subliminal messages we get from all those advertisements? I remember when I was a child, there was that Paris Hilton Carl's Jr. advertisement on TV. Wow, she looked amazing, that advertisement. Eating Carl's Jr. So I read an article recently that the Netherlands was one of the first countries to successfully fight childhood obesity because they made it illegal to advertise junk food at sporting games. After that happened, the childhood obesity rate dropped by 12%, I believe. I don't know the exact numbers, but that's what I read in this article recently. So can you imagine what would happen if that was implemented throughout the world? Alright, next inhale, walk your hands up, tucking under your left toes, bring your right leg to downward facing dog. And from down dog, just drop your knees, cross your legs behind you, sit up tall, bring your legs in front of you, and just find your way onto your mat. Shavasana. Great job, you guys. So you want to just stay here for like a minute or two minimum, allowing everything you just did to synthesize throughout your body. Notice any subtle sensations, vibrations going throughout your body. And one last challenge. Try not to let your head drift off into thoughts. You can bring your attention to the breath, to the subtle vibrations, or you can do a little meditation here. I really like ending my practice with the meditation of gratitude. It's just a reminder that I'm so blessed to have a healthy body, a body that works properly, to have all 10 of my fingers and toes, to just be healthy, to have a body that was able to take me through that practice. I'm so grateful. So grateful to live in a country where I would never go hungry. I'm so effing blessed to have a roof over my head. To all the plants and animals that are gonna die today, so that I can eat and be alive. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed to be well. I'm so blessed to have at least one person in my life that cares about me. A lot of people don't even have that. I'm so blessed for my parents who took care of me, who made sure that I always had food to eat, a roof over my head, clothes to wear. I am just so effing blessed. Right? So you can add your own blessings. Just count your blessings one by one as you allow your body to just rest here. It's also paying homage to your body for its valiant efforts, taking you through that yoga practice in your life. Alright, namaste, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys. Love you.